Yo, what's crack-a-lackin'? What's crack-a-lackin'? How's everyone doing today? We got the World Cup on. 67th minute, Iraq versus Norway. Norway up 2-1. We're going to get started. Hopefully everyone's doing well. It is Wednesday, June 17th at 9:30 a.m. June 17th. Jesus, where did April go? It's crazy. Time just goes like, I'm gone. Peace. What is time, right? How philosophical do we want to get today? How deep do we want to go down this rabbit hole? I'll be taking your questions. We're going to bring up the odds. Guys, I got to be honest, I don't have a lot of odds yet, but we have a lot to talk about. There is the Ryan Gardner Magnesi card. There is I think Ashton Silva is fighting Jojo Diaz card. There is a Oscar Cayato Golden Boy card. There is a UFC card. In terms of the boxing, our Discord's been doing a great job of, the Discord lets me know what the fights are, the point of contention fights. And so there's a couple fights that weren't on my radar that are on my radar now, but my book isn't offering odds yet. So not much sense to talk about them. And then the Magnesi versus Gardner fight, people are kind of torn on that. So we could get into that. I'll bring up the odds. If you're not in the Discord, guys, join the Discord. It's not just we started it in August. We're just surpassed 530 JSB insiders. It goes way. When I started it in August, it was like, hey, hi guys, do you want to join my Discord? Here's my bets. I was just learning. I didn't read it, what it's turned into. We're a professional betting community. Some people would even call it a sports betting academy. We have way past just boxing. I'll bring up the Discord for those who aren't in there. Boxing, MMA, baseball, hockey, the World Cup. It's been slapping. Shout out to my boy Youngin. Youngin, in 68 years of World Cup play, well, how do I rephrase this? It has been 68 years since a day of games in the World Cup all ended in draws. And my boy Youngin, who's a JSB insider, yesterday bet all the draws, $10 to win 9,000. God damn. I'm a soccer casual. I'm not even trying to make it like I'm a fan. I know anything about soccer. I watch every 4 years during the World Cup. It's great spectacle. I like watching any competition at the highest level. I'll watch pool at the highest level. I'll watch tennis at the highest level. Darts at the highest level. Street fights. You get the point. You get the point. Join the Discord. It's a couple bucks a month. Click that link. You can either join on YouTube. The YouTube JSB Insiders, you have more access on the live streams. You get all of my picks on YouTube, and you get access to the Discord. The Patreon boys, we do Patreon-only live streams. You get all my picks as well on Patreon, and you also get access to the Discord. Whichever way you want to support the channel, it's a couple bucks a month. We're going to get into this. Hopefully you're doing well. We got a big weekend ahead of us. I just got to be patient with the odds. Let's have a look at the odds real quick. I'll pull the odds page up. I'll say what's up to the boys first. What I'll do is I'll get caught up to the chat, and then we'll look at the odds. I'm not getting a lot of them. Fight fan in the house. What's up, buddy? Appreciate you. You my guy. Kakuto Arkai. What's up, brother? Manny in the house. What's good, bro? What do you think of Alessio Garuli, and you think he gets to... This is a fight. See, we got an educated ass chat. All right, so this is the fight Manny's talking about. This is actually the fight that I brought up in the Discord last night. Right now, these are the odds. All I'm going to tell you guys, if you're on Instagram, follow my Instagram account, Johnny Stofko, and then just DM me and say, hey, Jay, it's so-and-so from YouTube. I'll follow you back. The reason why that's beneficial is because I use my Instagram story as sort of a 24/7 boxing news ticker, sports betting. Because it's a World Cup, you'll see some soccer in there as well. The NBA Finals just ended. But I do polls. I'll put a poll up, and because I have a decent following, nothing major on my Instagram, we'll get a couple thousand votes. Who's gonna win this fight? I put this fight up: Garuli versus Dillon. Now, Lasha is a boxer out of the country of Georgia. Lasha Garuli won a bronze medal at the 2024 Olympics in Paris. He fought at welterweight. He is a newly minted pro. He's the A side traveling to Southampton, UK to fight Liam Dillon. My issue with Garuli is he's a 5'10", 30-year-old with only 3 pro fights. This is his 4th pro fight. He's fighting a guy in Liam Dillon who has over 20 pro fights. Liam Dillon is he's the UK guy. Liam Dillon's the type of dude who beats everybody at the club level. He beats everybody at the domestic level, but every time he moves up, he loses. He's fought obviously the much better competition. He's never been stomped. I think Liam Dillon is live. I'm not playing my bets yet because what I'm doing this week for the sake of the squad is I'm going to be a little bit more patient. I'm going to wait till the odds drop. I want to see what we're dealing with method of victory. I want to see what distance is playing, what no distance is playing. Garuli in his first pro fight got dropped. He got wobbled, got dropped. I'm not impressed with Garuli, but Liam Dillon's no world beater either. I'm just saying, over the last 12 months, this is one of those fights in terms of patterns we have seen. We've seen Olympians with under 10 pro fights go in as massive favorites. A 3-1 favorite, in my opinion, is a massive favorite against a real professional who has over 20 pro fights. And we've seen these Olympians come out of the amateurs and lose. You know what I'm saying? It's an 8-rounder. I would be much more comfortable if that was a 10-rounder, I was going Liam Dillon. Even when I posted the survey, the poll on my Instagram, I didn't know it was an 8-rounder. Shout out to the chat. I think it was Barium. I think it was Kiza. Our Discord's off the hook. And they were like, hey, Jay, this is an 8-rounder. I'm still not sold on who I'm going to go with, but this is a fight with potential upset to think about. Okay. When you love life, time goes fast. I notice, even on a small scale. What a fun day! It feels like a couple hours. Sent from Pet. My God, dude. Why not love life, man? It's definitely. We all have our drama. We all have trials and tribulations. We all have our stresses. The one thing that we can't control is here. So we can control what we put into our minds. We can control how we react to our social settings. I always tell my clients, work on our body, work on yourself first so you could be more adaptive to working on other people. If we don't love ourselves, how are we supposed to love other people? Love life. Great message sent from Pet. Great message. Julius, what's up, big dog? The sniper's back. Brush those shoulders off. The sniper. Mate, dude, last weekend, we're not getting the small breaks that we're used to. The JSB insiders are used to getting, like a basketball analogy, the ball bouncing in our direction. We're not, right? Like lately, the last few weeks, we're not, I can't say the last few weeks because 2 weeks ago, I hit a 400 to 1. One of the boys put $25 on it and won, or 50. I think he put $25 on and won, or he put $50 and won 25,000. $100 won 48,000. So in that week, I hit 7 out of 7. That was only 2 weeks ago. It's just the week before that I went 1 for 6, and last week we went 4 for 9. But we know the game that is sports betting. Even with all the research, sometimes we can't control where split decisions fall. Sometimes we can't control 13 seconds destroying our over in the Bam Rodriguez fight. These are things that will haunt us. Real sports bettors, the losses. I hate talking about my wins. Oh, Norway with the 3rd goal. Norway just goes up 3-1 in the 76th minute on a beautiful corner header. Look, I don't know the soccer analogies. I'm learning, but it was a corner kick, and a bald head kid from Norway jumped up and he headed it in. It was absolutely chaos. So Norway's up 3-1 now. Iraq was playing pretty good. The boys are going crazy. So Last week, Julius came on early in the week. We were talking about we both like that over band 5.5, and we missed it by 13 seconds. I think we both saw eye to eye with Arturo Cardenas. That one, we talked about that one, and I thought Bomba won. I thought Bomba Gonzalez. I'm sorry. I thought Bomba won the championship. I'll keep harping on it. I don't care. The bet lost. I thought Bomba won the championship rounds. Call me what you will. I'm a competitor. I hate losses. I'm gonna remember my losses way more than wins because we expect to win. You know what I'm saying? We expect to win. We don't do all this for nothing. We're not guessing out here. Perez's volume won him the fight. Right now, I'm dog hunting so far. Nothing stood out. You thought he won the fight? I don't know, man. He's talking about A. Perez. I don't like the way he gave away those later rounds. I thought Bomba's optics. I thought his pressure. I thought like winning the 10th, 11th, and 12th. I had Bomba. The chat was salty. I had it 8-4, 7-5. If you want to be kind. But see, it wasn't all bad. And then we hit on our the UFC triple. We hit on our short parlay. We hit on Auntie Leaf. Um, we're just not getting those little. We're not getting the edges that we're used to getting. They're gonna come our way, and we gotta be patient because this weekend, right now, like I said, I'm not getting a lot of the odds. I have my eyes on this, but I mean it's risky, guys. I don't know if I'm going to go full unit on any of this stuff this week. So these are the important questions. Our bankroll, overall as a team, we got to build that bankroll up. But scared money don't make money. I'm in it to win it. We got to have a long-term approach. Don't bet what you can't lose. If you're in the hole, take a week off. We're coming though. We're coming. We got the eyes out. We got the eyes out. We got the books out. We got the pens and papers out. We got the boys behind the scenes doing their film study. Guys, we got 40 people in here. I didn't expect that. 10 minutes in, like this video. When Julius says he's dog hunt, you better keep your ears and eyes open because Julius is going to bring the fire. You should watch ping pong. Dude, I used to play ping pong, mate. I'm not going to lie, Sanford Pet. There was a time in my life where my dad would yell at me because I was playing ping pong way too much. And this was like in my high school years. I was our high school quarterback. I was a all city baseball, all conference baseball player as a 15-year-old, and I played shooting guard. And in my off time, we had this rec center, and I got obsessed. I met this dude. He was a foreign exchange student from China, Hong Lee, and he was like this real tiny kid. And if I'm 15 or 14, he looks like he's 9. And he was and I met him at this rec center that was in walking distance from my house, and he was a freaking savant at ping pong, and it had a ping pong table. And at the time, I'm holding this is the ping pong set. I'm holding it like this, and this is the paddle bit, and he's holding his paddle like this, and he started teaching me, and I got really really good, and I was so I do like ping pong on the down low. I had to give it up. What's up? Lasha is Ilya's buddy. Is that good or bad for us, boys? You think Lasha's a lock? I've seen Lasha hurt before. You think he's a lock? God damn it. I don't think he's a lock, man. I don't like my issue isn't anything to do with him. My issue with the modern amateur landscape of point fighting. And I wouldn't say so you're saying he's a lock. Jesus. Okay. That's crazy. I don't guys, then again, I'm not shading Ryan here. I don't use the word lock in gambling. As we've seen, there are no such thing as locks in gambling. And so that's just my own credence and my own ethics of the rhetoric I choose to create for the community is how you would never hear there's no such thing as lock. How could you say Lasha's a lock? I saw him get dropped against a journeyman and hurt. And he has 3 pro fights and he's 30. And he's going against a guy. Like I said, Liam, who looks good against all the guys he's supposed to look good against, has 5 losses against guys every time he's leveled up, but he's never been stopped, went the distance. So to say that a guy with 3 pro fights who's still learning the pro game is a lock, the fights at 140, Garuli's fought, the amateurs at 147, which is usually a common thing. Guys who will usually fight up a weight class and the Emmys and then cut down. So I don't know. There's not a lot of tape. I don't know how much credence I put into maybe I have PTSD from gambling the last 12 months of betting on Olympians. So I got burned with Botter. I don't know. Jazza was a plus 600. I don't know any money people pick Jazz. Maybe we did pick Jazza. I don't think we did. Umia against Fonseca. I didn't bet, but I did bet Galaliafai to beat Frankie, and Frankie Robb beat him. And so there's just, and then the Cubans, we've seen it time and time again with Cubans who are Olympians who go in his favor. So you got to talk about it. The pattern should be mentioned, is my point. I'm not saying that Garuli is going to lose. I'm not saying I have action on that fight yet. All I'm saying is I'm recognizing patterns, and I am being the messenger here. Call me a conduit, if you will. Lasha hasn't looked the best, not worth the odds. Yeah, he's a heavy favorite, mate. It's crazy. Coach Rudy. The AI I used was the first ever dog I picked with a 5-star comment. Right? The AI I used was what pick was it? Oh, for Perez to win. Yeah. I don't think he won though. I don't think Perez won. I thought Bomba won, but it's all good. King. Yo, there is simply nothing that can surprise me about the fight game anymore. No locks, no guarantees. Shit gets easier. Yes. Guys, we have to... boys, come together. Get closer. The boys, get closer. Boys, we cannot be gambling money we can't afford to lose. We can't be gambling money expecting to get rich. Dude, this is what causes degeneracy. Boys, there's no such thing as locks. All we can do is lean in on the research that we individually do, lean in on our group, lean in on the conversations you have. But most importantly, if all of that comes together, trust your gut. Follow that intuition. It's okay to disagree with the community. We want that. We don't all have to agree. A lot of the best example I could keep using is me and Barry in boxing. Barry seems like he's been around forever. He only came to the group a month ago. And because we're such a new group, guys have come and gone. And before Barium, we had another guy who would do these analyses, and things happen, people disappear. But Barium and I agree 90% of the time. That 10% of the time we disagree, even whoever's wrong and whoever's right, we don't get mean spirited about it. It's like I know that this kid is putting a lot of energy and effort into his research to come up with his pick. He knows that I put a lot of energy and effort and research in coming up with my pick. So if we do disagree, and I'm talking about the collective now, you don't have to talk shit to each other. You don't have to. And if you do agree and we lose, you don't have to talk shit to each other. There's no way. Is it it's a predictable market. We could predict it, but they say anything is predictable. Does that mean everything is a lock? Hell no. Do you know how many this? One of my guys who's in our Discord, he's a JSB insider. He's going to remain anonymous. He bets so much money. It makes me super stressed out. I'd rather wish he didn't tell. I wish he didn't tell me. And he has my mobile device. And a couple weeks ago, when I hit massively, he hit massively. Him hitting massively is way different from me hitting massively. But I know that he relies a lot more personally because he has my mobile device on who I'm taking. Ilia Topuria losing screwed so many people. I don't know many people outside of Gaethje's inner circle. I didn't see many tickets. I know we have an insider here. I forget his name. I'm going to give him a shout out. He did have Gaethje. My point is, I never said Ilia was a lock, but I was dumbfounded watching him lose that fight. And millions of dollars globally were lost with him losing that fight. People were saying Ilia was a lock based on maths, combat sports maths. We know that's not a thing. Who is the insider? We had a JSB insider all week was saying, hey, Johnny, Gaethje, I don't like this matchup for Ilya. And he was right. He was one of the only people. And then in our Discord, I asked, shout out to Nathan Ibarra, my man. Shout out to Nathan Ibarra. I'm going to read his comment full stop here. Nathan Ibarra is a JSB insider. What happened there? Nathan Ibarra is a JSB insider. He goes, I had Gaethje the whole time. I tried to tell you guys that Fiziev was a better striker and more to worry about than the basic boxing of Ilya. All he knows how to do is throw a left liver shot and a 1-2. He has no head movement, and he's never fought anybody that can hit hard. The minute he did, you saw what happened to his face. I've always thought Ilya was and is overrated. Nathan Ibarra, JSB insider, but because the discourse globally was all over Ilya Taporia, a comment and a sharp like Nathan could get lost in the shuffle. So shout out to Nathan Ibarra, man, for seeing it. I didn't see it. And then everything is always hindsight's 2020. He says that, he mentions that, and it's like, yeah, dude, you're right. And he's smaller. He's coming up to 55. Justin's big and durable. The talking points I kept saying on Justin last week was, not many people talk about his Division I wrestling accolades. He wrestled at Arizona State. He just chooses not to use his wrestling. And people, in combat sports, what have you done for me lately? A lot of the impressions of Justin was a guy who was seen as better days, up in age, talking about retirement. This is kind of like a layup for Ilya, and it sure the hell wasn't, was it? Sure the hell wasn't. I'm a huge fan of Taylor Bevon. The kid is real. I think I'm getting odds on Taylor. I'm going to catch up to the chat, and then I'll pull the odds up again. Guys, it's 3-1 Norway in the 88th minute. Betting on Jojo Diaz is crazy work. I'm not getting that fight. I think he's fighting Ashton Sill. But remember, guys, Jojo was a world champion at 126. Jojo's best days were 126, right? That's all I'm going to say. Oscar Cayazzo, I think he might have a new opponent. The chat in the Discord is saying that he has a new opponent. So I would be patient with you if I were you with betting on that fight yet. Ryan Hall, are we all on Zoo against Spence? Bro, Ryan, did you watch the interview with Tim Zoo? Or Errol was just on Andre Ward show for a long time. It's one of the longest interviews I've seen Errol give. And obviously, in the last 3 years, it's one of the only interviews he's given. He talks a lot about the fight camp with Bud. Errol doesn't cross me as a guy who mixes his words. He seems like a pretty honest, authentic, straight shooter. He was talking about how Derek, his coach, they didn't spar for the Bud Crawford fight camp. They didn't have any southpaws in there, and he said pretty much all they did was hit pads. Norway's pressuring again. Damn, soccer's such a crazy sport. Oh, misses another shot on goal. Silv, Garner, Paro, Crocker distance. Guys, there's an Australian card today, but next week, next Wednesday. There's some good fights on that card. My boy Liam Talavaa is fighting on that card. You got Paro Crocker main eventing on that card. You got 50 cal. Dude, 50 cal. Callum Peters is on that card. So we're going to make our money in Australia like we always do. We're going to make our money in Australia like we always do. We're going to get it back and, get back to 80%. That's how we like it. 80 to 90, 100%. God damn it, we were this close from going 7 out of 9. These are the breaks, boys. These are the breaks. It's me, my brother. Fight fan. Justin. Hit the like, guys. We're 25 minutes in. 52 in here. Appreciate it. Let's like the video. I'm gonna bring up all I'm gonna bring up the rest of the odds in a second. Have you looked at the Boone Beast Lovers here? Not getting it yet, but I'm going to bring up the odds. Kanoi's still fighting the visa. That's the thing. Kanoi is our boy who's supposed to be fighting Oscar Cayazzo. He's having visa issues. Kanoi got an L. He lost, right, UD? Tito's brother Daniel turns pro at 154 on the same card. Yeah, Tito. Guys, what do you make of Tito Mercado fighting low on this card? A year ago I thought Tito was a main event fighter. Why is Tito Mercado not getting main events? Why is he not getting pushed? Does anybody have that answer? All right, so just so you guys know, full transparency, I'm going to go over my book and the odds that they're giving me right now, the fights that they're giving me. Shout out to Taylor Bevan. Taylor Bevan, he won us money before. That's obviously going to be a prop. If we could get a prop, we're not getting it. Garuli, Brad Pauls versus Goldsmith. I like Lyndon Arthur against Edmondson. I do, man. And I like Garner over Magnesi. And I was told that Kayatso Kanoi fight is off because of visa issues. So that's all I'm getting. Not a lot. What have you guys on a Wednesday? I don't ever remember only getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fights. So I assume tomorrow when you guys see me, it'll open up. But usually the JSB Insiders, I'll have 2 or 3 tickets already posted. I have none. So let's look at the UFC. Okay. These are the UFC fights. Shane Collins versus Tanzalavi. Leon Shabazian. Is this Edmund's brother? Leon Shabazian, or is that just a normal Armenian last name? A few Armenians on this card, I'm pretty sure. Rosa versus Santos. See, this is one of those. Dude, Gaston Bolanos, man, I thought he was going to be the one. He was a great kickboxer. Gaston, I think he used to fight in Glory. But he looks like a mini Kevin. I think he looks like a mini Kelvin Gastelum. Gaston Bolanos is like a mix of Kelvin Gastelum and Ilya Taporia looks wise. But great kickboxing. I thought he was going to be a star in the UFC based on his kickboxing career. He never really panned out. Michael Aswell's legit. I like Aswell over Gaston. I like Nascimento fighting Raposo. I think Nascimento should edge it. Bia Mesquita, yeah, that's an easy win for her. Yeah, Melsik Bagdasarian. There are a few Armenians. Dude, I thought at one time Melsik Bagdasarian was going to be a guy. Always in shape, super fit, angry fighter, fights mean, good striking. But, like, he doesn't, like, lose. Like, he's one of these guys that looks great when he's up in a fight. Like, this is mid-fight. If Bagdasarian is winning a fight, he's a front runner. And you're like, holy shit, this kid's a potential star. But then as soon as Bagdasarian starts getting a little bit of adversity and he has to come from behind, he kind of gets small in there. Interesting guy. Has a lot of potential. Good to see him active. Lack of inactivity could be the reason for his mixed results in the octagon. Fighting a guy Magomedov. Whenever your last name is Magomedov, you're gonna grappler versus striker. Armenian last name versus Dagestani last name. Dagestani-esque last name. Andre Lima versus dude, Kevin Borjas at 5-1. I got to do my research on Andre Lima. Wasn't too long ago. Borjas was also another guy that people were high on. So Lima must be a really, really top flight prospect / contender. Another goal. They're pouring it on now, boys. In the 90th minute, Norway scores again 4-1. Check your score, boys. This is the most interesting fight for me of the UFC card is Hyder Emil versus C-Rod. I like both guys. Hyder Emil isn't he a Diaz boy? I'm pretty sure Hyder Emil was brought along by Gilbert and Gilbert Melendez. So I'm pretty sure he's a Nick Diaz Army guy. Short, stout dude, aggressive. Christian Rodriguez, similar. 50-50 fight. Either one could win this fight. I'll have to brush up on my film study before I give you an opinion. And Andre Fili, touchy-feely, historically over the last decade. If you want to pull your hair out, I don't know if there's another UFC fighter who's made bettors, gamblers, pull their hair out more than touchy-feely. We've seen this kid win fights he should not have won. We've seen this kid lose fights he should not have lost. And he's been around forever. So, whenever he fights, it's kind of a head scratcher. Vinicius Oliveira, another guy at one time, dude. People like Vinicius Oliveira, shiny new toy sort of. Brazilian, looks good optically. We've seen him fade condition-wise. Feely's probably live here. And then that sort of catches us up on the UFC. Give me 24 hours. I already see some UFC plays I like, to be honest with you. We already got plus money if we take as well. 4-1. Check your tickets. Norway just beat Iraq 4-1. So let's see here. I gotta do more research. This is just off jump. This is nothing official. This is us. We're riffing. We're in the film study phase still. So as well, I want to take Nascimento there, but I think I would edge Nascimento here. Mitch Raposa's grappling and wrestling does make him a tricky threat. I have to revisit that fight. Mosquito should win this fight. That puts us at 42. I got to revisit Lima. I might throw Hyder Emil on a separate ticket. We'll see. Yeah, that's not too good yet. So give me some time on the UFC. Give me like a day or so. It's already Wednesday. I'll have a ticket prepped up. I'll have a ticket cooked up for us. Definitely by tomorrow night. I think is State of Origin today, boys. Let's see what the Discord's saying. So this is for all the boys who aren't in the Discord. Guys, we stream fights. I've saved thousands of dollars. Where's my big head at? Since August, I've saved thousands of, not one, I mean, disregard the winnings, but the money I've saved due to Kyle, Mayweather, Doovie the Kid. In other words, we stream we stream fights in our Discord, thousands of dollars because of our Discord. So shout out to our chat. If you want to join just because of that, that's a selling point. Hey, where should I watch the fights? Come to the JSB Discord play and become part of our world famous betting academy community. Let's see how the boys are doing. I'm going to check the soccer chat. Oh, and asking thou shalt receive. You guys asked me to start a stocks channel. So, survey AI. Here's the AI prediction analysis. We have an AI prediction analysis for all the fights. This is locked, but it's reserved. We just started this morning. A couple of you boys were asking me to start an investing channel for stocks and crypto. So we have that. Credit. Shout out to Gil, our moderator. He the best in the business. Our chat wouldn't be able to grow and stay as organized without Gil. He's a beast. Gil's my guy. NRL. I'm pretty sure the State of Origin is on this. American football will be back soon. This is where I make my money, boys. NCAA is back soon. Couple months away. Tennis chat. Hockey chat. Here's the soccer chat. Let's see the boys putting their tickets in. I want to show you the 9,000. I want to show you the $10 to win 9,000. Dude, the soccer chat is popping, boy. World Cup in the house. You guys have been killing the chat. I went to bed. It's going to take me forever. All right, here we go. Look at this. Look at this. I didn't tell you something. He cashed out. Oh, he cashed out. 10 to win 9,000. It's been 68 years since since a full day of games in the World Cup ended in draws. So when the Iran New Zealand game was one of the best games I ever watched. When that ended, they said that stat, and then I put in the Discord. I go, "Did anybody pick all the draws?" And then, sure enough, he would have won $9,000. He cashed out. Oh, that one. That one. Okay, we're caught up in the soccer chat, I think. Let's see what the boxing chat's saying. Is Jahai Tucker Yuri Cedeno? I didn't know Jahai Tucker. I'm not getting that fight. Is that this week? All right, I'm gonna get caught up to the chat now. Man, is Yuri Cedeno fighting this week? No limit, keeping Callum Peters busy. Yeah, what's up, Husky? I do like the way they're moving Callum Peters. I mean, they brought Joe Sean down here, and that was a tough fight. And you know, he won a lot of he won a lot of us money on the money line. But you know, I took him to win by knockout. It looked like it was live. Didn't get the knockout. Beat Joe Sean on points. Beat him convincingly. Did much better work early on, which is expected of a young pro who had a stellar amateur career. That's part of learning the pro game, especially when you're getting paired up with guys who have a little bit more pro experience than you, is understanding where that gas tank is, where your power's at throughout a fight, when to turn it on. It's one of those things that I felt tactically really was the unwinding of Ilia Topuria was tactically. I don't think it was anything skill wise. Ilia getting hit with way too many shots early on. Ilia allowing Justin to land that jab way too often early on, walking in the front door without throwing a jab of his own. Also, when he had Justin hurt in the second, going for the grappling exchanges and taking it to the ground, trying to end Justin on the ground in the second, and he couldn't get him out of there. And it looked like he emptied his gas tank. It looked like that's exactly what happened. And then we know how that ended, and you know, the rest is history. So Callum Peters going up against a guy, a tough Argentinian fighter. I think his opponent is in the top 50 internationally, however BoxRec does their algorithm. And so you guys know I'm high on 50 cal, young kid, aggressive, could punch, athletic, storied amateur, and I like the way they're moving him. TKO win for Bevan. Generally the consensus, I'd have to see the odds. My nephew trains with Tito. According to my nephew, it's extremely hard for them to get sparring sessions against local gyms. I'd assume no. Yeah, guys, I've promoted Tito on my channel like he was a main event guy. When I've known Tito Mercado, you guys should know him since the amateur days. This is a guy who, you know, when people talk about the guys from 40 and 47 now, even coming up from 35, the guy, you know, Rolly Romero, the Rolly Romeros of the world, Ryan Garcias of the world. You know, I tend to think that Tito. Don't we think Tito's right there? It's crazy that he's not getting propped up. He's marketable. He talks shit. He's good on the mic. He could be a little bit cringy on the mic, but it's boxing. And he's aggressive fight style. Will he retire an undefeated Hall of Famer? I don't know, but he's, every time he fights, you watch, he always goes for the kill. Not the most defensively sound guy, not the most technical guy, but he goes in for, he's an aggressive puncher. How is he? It's crazy to me that he's on an undercard of a lesser known card. I had to do a double take. I was like, is this Ernesto Mercado? Not even the main event on this card. Got Sterling for knockout. City Kickboxing in the house. Let's go. Kiwis, what's up? Bro, can Zayas pull off an upset? Hell yeah, he can. Bro, this is a real fight. Zayas is the bigger guy. Zayas is the multiple-time champion. For how confident Jaron is, Zayas is equally as confident. I think I think the better question, John, is who has more pressure on him? I think from what I'm seeing in the media, it looks to me that that Jaron has more pressure on him than Xander. Xander seems to me like a young, as he is, 23-year-old world champion who's undefeated, who's free. He he's saying all the same things he said in his last fight against Barral. He doesn't look nervous to me. He looks ready. He looks confident. I can't wait to see the face-off. We've seen them do their media and then stare down, but I want to see because Jaron's build to me, he looks a bit lean to me. What did Bud Crawford say? Or what did EJ say to Bud? You look light in the ass. Do you guys remember that? EJ looked at Bud and was like, nah, no, you look light in the ass. Jaron looks light in the ass to me, man. What is it about? Like, they say he cut so much weight to make 47, and I just saw him do an interview that he thinks he's going to max out at 68 before it's all said and done. How much weight is he cutting? Because he doesn't, like, watching him, I put up a video of him hitting the heavy bag, and, I watch all of his training, the stuff he posts. He doesn't look big to me. Jaron looks a bit light in the ass to me. Xander looks big. Xander looks like a thicker dude. And so Xander's the natural 154 guy, been there his whole career as a young buck. Jaron's fought one round. Jaron's fought 90 seconds at 154. That does matter. So, and then is Jaron's power real at 154? That knockout to win ratio, very sexy. 90% plus knockout to win ratio. Is that power real? Is that power going to affect Xander Zayas? Is the speed going to be are we going to see these discrepancies like we saw with Stanionis versus Boots? The thing is, Stanionis was 5'8", and differences with Stanionis, and I rate Stanionis. I would pick Stanionis to beat Lewis Crocker at 47. I would pick Stanionis probably to beat Raleigh at 47. I would pick Stanionis to probably beat. I think him and Patty Donovan is a great fight. Stanionis is a good fighter. Boots made him look really average, and it wasn't anything that Stanionis wasn't doing. It was just Boots' physicality, his speed, his power, his gifts. Will he have those advantages against Xander at 54? I don't know. Fun fight. Youngin in the house. We still good. 45 minutes in, we got 41, 51. My ticker goes, it's like in this 10-person gap. It'll fluctuate. 41 and 51. I'm happy with 10. I'm happy if there's 5 of you guys in here. I got time for you. Boss Cree says, morning, Johnny. What's the chances in it? Okay, everyone's asking this. Win on points. Get Boots to box with him. Get Boots to fight off of his back foot. I think Xander, pressure, get him to fight off of his back foot, and get him to box with him. It's interesting, man. It's really interesting, the fight Boots versus Xander. I'm salty that I'm not getting Yuri Cedeno versus Jahai Tucker. The dogs, we up. Who do you favor in the UFC main? Manel versus Horiguchi. I'm betting on Starboy. Horiguchi's a little bit faded for me. I mean, he looked good in his last fight. Horiguchi's been around since the war. Horiguchi and Kopp fought during the silent film era. Horiguchi has looked good since his return, but I'm going on Starboy. I think the French combat fighter curse has been lifted with our boy Cyril Gahn beating the brakes off of your boy Chama. So with Cyril Gahn lifting our French MMA curse, I think I like Starboy. Alex Galvin, I'm a little late to the live, but I'm feeling boots on points. Liam Peril on point. What's up, Alex? I do like both. Would I be lying if I posted a bet a month ago with one of those bets? So I do like if I'm playing boots, I like boots on points. If I'm playing Xander, I like Xander on points. I don't think either guy gets stopped. So just and guys, this is one of those fights. A couple times a year, we get one of these fights to where it causes so much drama among the boxing fans, to where I woke up this morning with a dumpster fire in my Discord. Boys getting racially prejudiced and aggressive, and folks getting called out, folks DMing each other. We're all good now. But it was because of this fight. It's one of those fights. Crawford versus Canelo was one of those fights. The boys get emotional and in their feelings. Shakur versus Teo was one of these fights. But like, you know what I mean? This is one of those fights. Puerto Rico versus America, Philly versus Puerto Rico, the African American fan base versus the Puerto Rican. You guys know what this entails. You know what I'm saying? It's boxing. You got to get used to it. But from a betting perspective, what I always say is don't bet with your heart. You know, remove the emotions from the equation, and we'll be good. And that's what our Discord is. We don't want people emotionally betting, and we don't want people getting in their feelings and then trolling because you said their favorite fighter is going to lose. That's what happens, though. No, it doesn't happen with obviously every fight. Boots and Xander people will be getting into verbal assaults because of this. Just expect it. As soon as my Stats Don't Lie video drops, go to the comments. You'll see what I'm talking about. Go to the comments of Shakur versus Teo right now on my channel. You'll see what I'm talking about. I feel like Boots' team is a bit diluted, thinking they're just going to run through. Yeah, he's not going to run through Xander, man. Underestimating Xander might bite him in the ass, like his confidence. I was talking to Bum Equipment behind the scenes about this fight. And my biggest question about Boots was, is his power real at 54? Will his speed be on full display at 54? I don't count the Usama Lima fight at 54. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we didn't get a big, it's not a big sample size. And Xander, you know, he fell in love when you watch the Basparel fight. He was falling in love with that lead uppercut. And shout out to Bum Equipment, he brought this up. You know, Boots, you're throwing that lead uppercut. If the timing's off, you can get counter with that lead hook. It's a dangerous punch to throw, especially at mid range. You know, that lead uppercut usually, you know, there are some exclusions. Lead uppercut's usually reserved for in the pocket. Xander does fall, you know, throws it a lot at mid range, which you could get countered. A lot of questions. Okay, we need to relax then. You guys know how we are. We're a week to week channel. I can't be looking too far ahead, even though I'm on Boots and Xander right now. That's why I'm not seeing Cedeno versus Jahai. Right now, I like Cedeno in that fight. I got to be honest with you. What's your thoughts on Mayweather's Ambitas, Floyd? Yeah, I'm not covering it. Sorry, boss. We could talk about it. You can message me. I'm not going to waste my time on those two fights. Sorry, brother. Sorry, big dog. I called Boots on points 2 months ago when I built my moonshot. Youngin, the king of the moonshot. We might have to adjust your name a bit. Moonshot Young at Young Shot. The next time one of your moonshots hits, we got to adjust that name from Youngin to Mr. Moonshot or something. We'll figure it out. Yeah, Canelo's fighting against Christian and Billy in September. They're already doing media for it. Christian and Billy just went on. I actually have a video. I shared it on my Instagram. Christian and Billy thinks that Christian and Billy today said that Canelo's never fought a volume pressure forward style guy like Billy, which there aren't many guys who fight like Billy and who are successful with it. I think is this the Canelo's not at the best part of his career. It's not shocking to say he's faded. That's not controversial. Is Christian and Billy the guy we really thought he was? I didn't like the way like Lester Martinez in his last fight did not impress me against Reece Salim. He won, but I'm starting to think that Lester might not be the guy that they sold him to. They sold us as. He has this really nice knockout to win ratio, but I don't think Lester really punches like that. Okay. And now when you watch the Lester versus Reece Salim fight, when you watch the Lester versus Billy fight, which was a draw, it's one of those fights before the fight, both guys had so much spice to them. So there's still time. I still don't know. For me, after watching and Billy versus Lester, and then Lester versus Salim, and then Billy versus his counterpart, I forget his name. I just think the jury's still out for me if these guys are legit dominant world champion types. I don't know if they are. So I'm still a bit hesitant on saying that and Billy just with that style will be enough to beat Canelo. I don't know yet. Well, we have time. We have a couple months. What's up, Cowboy Troy? I'm gonna go to a different book to see if Bet365 is giving me anything. We haven't had to go to Bet365 in months because Sportsbet's usually been on the ball with it. Already getting more fights. Okay, let's get my big head out the way. What's up, Troy? Troy in the house. Okay, so this is Bet365. These are the odds. All right. Damn, Bet365 is giving me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, not that many. Two more fights. The Tito Mercado fight, which the odds are terrible. We're gonna have to get sexy. Mercado is a super aggressive guy. He's gonna go for the knockout. Obviously, it's too. The props will drop in 2 days, and then Navarro Jr. versus Zarin. I'm surprised you guys haven't asked me about this fight. You boys love dog hunting. I'm surprised nobody asked me about this fight. Just based on odds, we should have gotten 25 questions on this fight. Anybody have a read? Where are the boys at? Who's jumping on this? I know one of you savages, one of you boxing heads in our group have probably filmed both guys. You guys probably have it. We're an early read. You know who Oliver Zarin fought in his last 5. You know Jose Navarro Jr.'s punch stats. Let me know. Share the knowledge. That's a compliment to our chat. You guys know that, right? Troy versus Simpson 2. The fight that everybody asked for. Gil, you've been you're an OG in our Discord. You remember the meltdown. Do you really want to play this fight? Or are you one of the few who picked Troy in the first fight? Because Troy was a 6-1 dog. And Callum Simpson was on all of our parlays. And everything hit that weekend. And all we needed was Callum Simpson in that fight. And he was up early in that fight, and he was up on the scorecards, and then he got stopped. He got dropped, 4 times in the 10th? To say I still have PTSD from that first fight is an understatement. To say that I'm excited about the rematch is an overstatement. I'm not excited about this rematch. I still have scarring in my wallet from Callum Simpson versus Troy 1. So, that's I think I answered your question. Taliva'a has a good shot. Yep. We talked about this. Liam Taliva'a. I was at Bondi Boxing Club. I told the story before. When he walked in the doors, he started, cut his teeth with Tony Del Vecchio. I think Tony will still be in his corner, but he's not his main. And he's carving a path on the Australian domestic heavyweight scene. He's had his bumps and bruises. He got his get back against Brandon Gratch in the first fight, which was a fight of the year contender. It was a war while it lasted. Liam drops Gratch, and then Gratch stopped Liam, and then Liam loses a decision to Steven Ivich, a fight that I thought Liam won. And then Liam had his comeback, his rematch with Gratch, and then knocked Gratch out. And then in his last fight, looked phenomenal. Liam Talava'a is a southpaw, hard-hitting, smaller, very athletic heavyweight against a guy like Dempsey McKean, who's 6'6", big boy, experienced, been in there. Obviously, the more seasoned pro, he has the more tread on his tires. He's big and marauding and slow. So it's kind of like I gotta wait for the odds. I would if Liam and I cross paths in the store, we'd give each other love. So anybody that if I cross paths in a store, in a crowded store outside of a boxing ring where you're not expecting to see, and you recognize them and hug it up, what's up? I consider those my friends. So I consider Liam a friend. So I do have to be weary of betting on my friends. I always talk about that. You got to bet on you got to bet with your wallet, not with your heart. But it's a great move for Talava'a because with what he's shown in his most recent form, this is his opportunity for him and his handlers and his family to move on to international fights, which means more money, which means really making a go at this professional boxing thing. And I really hope he does that. He's a good guy. If you go on my channel, there's a 3-4 minute interview I did with Liam when he had maybe 2 pro fights, maybe before his pro debut, and it's at Bondi Boxing. I'll share it after this. You really get to see his approach. Always in the gym. He's a technician too. He's not just a big puncher. When you watch, like, I used to love watching him just hit pads with Tony. He's very technical. He pays a lot of close attention to the minutia of the technique, which as a coach, you got to really appreciate it. And then he just has natural given power, and he's fast. So these are the right steps. These are the proper step ups that you have to take if you feel that, with a fighter, you have something in them that you want to bring to the international scene. Will he ever be a heavyweight world champion? I don't know. Who am I to say no? You know what I'm saying? Am I cheering for him? Yes. Is it a tough fight? Yes. Is it the toughest fight of his career? Yes. And with Dempsey McKean, he's a guy, what is he, in his mid to late 30s now? It's like, I ain't done yet. You guys think I'm finished? Bring your boy up here. He's been at the world level before. He's been at the peak and he's fallen short. It's a good fight. That fight's on the undercard of Peril Crocker. Cowboy Troy, I think we all just caught our breaths from this past weekend. It could it's not all bad for me, for us. We had a sort of a 50-50 week. It could have been way better, mate, in terms of winning. It could have been way better. We could have had a massive weekend if things would have fell in our way just a little bit, but these are the breaks that we play. This is the game that we play. We move on. Whether we win everything, we move on. Whether we lose everything, we move on. We make adjustments. We learn from our mistakes. We put effort in. Guys, we're an hour in, 56 people in here. Let's like the video. Pierce O'Leary versus Chamberlain, a lot of great fights after boot. Yeah. Pierce O'Leary versus Chamberlain. Pierce O'Leary, to me, optically looks like our boy Tommy Rainone. Every time. Tommy hates when I say that. But next time I bring Tommy on the show, I'm going to pull up a photo of Pierce O'Leary. Tommy hates when I say this. What are we doing? What are we doing? Come on, dude. This looks just like Tommy. Am I tripping? So I'm going to pull up Tommy Rano now. Bro, these are brothers. These are brothers. These are brothers switched at birth. What are we doing? Pierce O'Leary is Tommy Raynon. Come on. This is a thing. Tommy was a real pro too. People, I think because he's, he does the show. Tommy does the show with Paulie, and then like it's human psychology. Tommy and Paul, people know Paulie. Tommy Raynon, I talk about him all the time. Like 26-8. He doesn't go to a boxing gym until he was 17 years old. Ends up having a legit pro career and never got stopped. This is a guy in New York, wherever he goes, never has to buy a drink. I talk about this all the time. If you're a pro with a real pro career, and you never been stopped, it's one of those stats that people remember. Yeah, he never was a world champion, but he was tough in there. He never been stopped. What are you drinking? Let's get like that sort of thing. It's boxing. We have a close knit fraternity. He's a great dude. Tommy's a friend of mine, but him and Pierce O'Leary are brothers, 100%. Not even a question. They fucking look alike. I don't think it would be as funny as if Tommy didn't get pissed off at it. He gets upset when I tell him, like, I'll share that. Like, what are we doing? Come on, dude. What are we doing? Like, these dudes are brothers. Like, for real. All right, I'll move on. Oh shit, we've already been on an hour. I gotta eat. I gotta coach. I'm gonna catch up to the chat and see what time it is. What do you think about Lyndon Arthur, mate? I kind of like Lyndon Arthur over Edmondson, man. I like Lyndon Arthur's jab. I like it, dude. He has a good ring IQ, man. He's fought at a higher level. He's lost at a higher level. I mean, the Bradley Ray win, he used his jab. I mean, I think so lowly of Lewis Edmondson that I think Lyndon Arthur's jab could be enough. He does have these laws and output. He does like to hang on the ropes. We were seeing it against Bradley Ray, but we saw a payoff for him against Bradley Ray. Walked him in on something. So this will not be a full unit betting weekend for me, boys. We have big fights. The hair is getting crazy. I'm growing the hair out too. I'm gonna bet heavier on the Australian card, which is on Wednesday. Just so you know. All right. So this UK card went up. What my goal with the UK card, my goal with the Golden Boy card, is to go quarter unit, and the UFC cards to go quarter unit, half unit, simmer, build, and then with the winnings, go heavy on Australia. I'm going heavy. Cowboy in. Who do you have in Rio? Well, it bothers me that Rio lost the first one, but it also bothers me that De Los Santos has been so inactive and Rio hasn't. I mean, dude, shout out to Rio Valenzuela, man. It's like at what, 27 years old, he's had to rebuild his career twice already. There's something to say about that. I like Rio. I do. Trinidad versus and Cajas very soon as well. Fight going the distance. Fight going on the radar. Yeah, there's a lot of them. This is why this is why I love our chat, because you guys remind me when fights go under the radar. If Jahai Tucker wins, where do you, bro? They have been pairing Jahai Tucker tough since he broke through. Look at his resume. Look who he's fought. You gotta think. You gotta start. I mean, Yuri Cedeno. Both guys are at the precipice of fighting for a title, right? They're at the precipice. You win, whichever guy wins this fight. You should be fighting for a title if not a title eliminator. Navarro Jr. has European title pedigree and experience edge. Navarro Jr. should control the pace and different. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. What did I tell you? This is the fight that Bet365 has, the sports bet doesn't, that I said 15 minutes ago. Somebody give me a breakdown. I know one of you savages have film studied it. And shout out to Voss Christos, my guy. Nav Jr. has the Euro title pedigree and experience edge. Nav Jr. should control the pace and distance with the seasoned super middleweight game, outpointing Zeren. You guys better be taking notes. I'm taking notes on that one because when sports bet, and if Rudy, you're still in the chat, I downloaded Brave browser, by the way. If Rudy Pedraza still in the chat, I downloaded his recommendation, Brave browser. So you like Nav Jr. Outpoint Zaren. I'm going to do my film study and get back to you on that. Appreciate you on that one. You guys got to take notes, boys. Mosby, you got Cedeno. When the Spence for Zoo tickets go on sale. Yeah, Big Luke. I'll meet you there. 100% youngin. We'll link up for sure. One of my boys' clients, we go to all the boxing together. Big Luke. Yeah, the fights are fun, man. I went to every fight I go to, I run into some of the boys. I'll probably be a little bit on that too, though. I live like 95. My lifestyle is like 98% samurai and then 2% cowboy. And so at this stage of the game of my life, I'm disciplined. I just have it in. I mean, my family my great uncle wrote Dracula. So Bram Stoker, and this isn't a flex. I'm saying this. My dad's whole family is from Prague, Czechoslovakia. For the longest time, I didn't understand these urges I would get as a young man of just wanting to be crazy, like not crazy, but like I want to go party, I want to act up, I don't like consistency, and I had to work through that in my 20s. And what really saved me was finding coaching and going to grad school, helping people. That to condense it, helping people saved my life because it gave me the structure that I needed to corral that thing that's in me that I want to be. Let's go fucking crazy. I lived in Las Vegas. I lived on the Strip. Lived in LA. I used to bartend in nightclubs where I didn't have to wear a shirt. When I'm in my early 20s, boys, I was a freaking animal. So I'm able to control that with just small little. When I go to the fights, I'll be drinking. I reserve that animals a couple times a year. It's usually at the fights. It's a good time. That's why I don't like filming at fights. I go as a fan. I like Aswell as well. What do you think about the brand? I like Sugarcane here. I don't know, man. I like Sugarcane against. I've never been high on Lee. I think Sugarcane Sandoval. I think he's going to take a lot away from that Julian Rodriguez defeat. He went in there super confident, and I'm friends with him on Instagram. If that means anything these days, meaning that like he watches my stories, I watch his stories, I cheer for him. Him rocking the six pack tells you a lot. We watch Sugarcane as a 19, 20-year-old. He's always a little bit soft around the core sort of thing. This is a kid to me looks like he took that loss from J-Rod, and he was the favorite too. J-Rod was a 5-1 dog. Shout out to the boys. We took J-Rod. And Kane looks to me, rather than sitting with that and sulking over it, it looks like he ran to the gym with it. I like Sugarcane in that fight. Not will he be a world champion? Who am I to say no? I think he has a little bit more than Brandon Lee. Christos, I'll see you there. Best boxing event we'll have in Sydney. Yeah, I go to all the Zoo fights. I was at Tim Zoo versus Harrison. Went to the Nikita's last one. I'm definitely going to this one. They need to announce a venue. Yeah. Yeah, so my last name's Stofko, Stofko. In Prague, the name was longer. And so, ancestral speaking, it was cut into two. Somewhere like 200 years ago, the last name was cut into Stofko and Stoker. And so through my dad telling me the story, you're young, you don't believe these folks. I- I'm a critic by heart. So even as a young kid, I used to drive my parents insane because I'm always questioning things. So he would tell me that, and I was like, all right, whatever, mate. And then as I got older, I did a genealogy test. Yeah, related to him. Great great uncle. And if you pull the photo up of him and my dad, you can see it. You can see the Slavic in him. He was a dark cat. Bro, yeah, he doesn't. That side, they don't know I exist. It's only a flex on like a gene. It helped me understand me a little bit more, though. So I do advise anybody to ever do that if you're interested, because migrating to America. My father, he didn't know his parents. He was born in Czechoslovakia. They migrated to America when he was super young. He was raised by his grandparents who didn't speak any English. So growing up, he didn't know any relatives with that last name. So culture, my mom, on the other hand, her whole family was from northern, like central Italy, but all the Italians came over together in the 1930s. So my grandparents on the Italian side were born in Italy, but my mom was born here. And so all the family events, it would all be Italian because it was her family. My dad was a Slavic one. So my last name's Slavic, but my mom's last name's Sforza. So culturally, I was raised in an Italian household, even though I was born in America. There's Rudy. There's Rudy. Rudy, I got you, brother. Thank you. I'm wrapping my back. Really quick thoughts on Nikki. Another good fight. Nakia is a guy. Shout out to New Zealand. Shout out to Jackson John England. Jackson John England fights in his camp. He's fighting too soon. There's some good Aussie fights coming up. Give me some time to pick one. Floyd Masson versus Nakia. Good fight. Uh, guys, I got to run. You guys are the best. JSB Insiders. We got a lot of work to do. The tickets will be coming soon. So check the members only section on YouTube. Check the Patreon. Best community in the world. I say it every day. I talk about you guys in my normal life now. You know what I'm saying? Like my friends in real life that they see me, they know about the JSB Discord. They're like, "Can I join?" I was like, "Nope, you ain't allowed in. This is reserved for the savages." I see you guys.